Your mind listens to every word you say. Speak with kindness, courage, and belief in yourself. Change your inner dialogue for 3 days and watch how your confidence starts to grow. The way you speak to yourself determines how you show up in the world. Make every word count, starting today. Do you ever catch yourself stuck in negative thoughts or doubting your own potential? What if I told you that changing the way you speak to yourself could completely transform your mindset and your life in just 3 days? In this video, I'm going to show you a simple, proven way to talk to yourself that can boost your confidence, help you focus, and unlock a whole new level of self-belief. Imagine waking up every day feeling more in control of your emotions and your choices. It starts with the words you use. Most of us don't realize how much our self-talk shapes our reality. But here's the good news: small, intentional changes in the way you talk to yourself can create a massive shift in how you feel, act, and see the world. Stick with me, and I'll guide you through 3 powerful strategies you can start using today. You won't just feel inspired, you'll see real results. Ready to change your inner dialogue and take charge of your future? Let's dive in. Number 1, start with honest reflection. I want to share something with you today that could set you on a completely new path in just 3 days. It starts with a simple but powerful idea: honest reflection. Now, I know that might sound straightforward, but let me tell you, this is where the real work begins. If you want to change your life, if you want to grow, if you want better results, it all starts with looking at where you are right now. And I mean really looking, no filters, no excuses, just the truth. Why is this so important? Because if you don't know where you are, how can you figure out where to go? You see, so many people rush through their days without stopping to think about what's working and what's not. They avoid asking themselves the tough questions because it's uncomfortable. But here's the thing: if you don't face the truth, you can't fix it. And if you can't fix it, you'll stay stuck. That's not what I want for you. And I know it's not what you want for yourself. So here's what I want you to do for the next 3 days. Take some time to reflect on your life honestly. Ask yourself, where am I winning? Where am I falling short? What habits are helping me? Which ones are holding me back? Write it down. Don't just think about it, put it on paper. There's something powerful about seeing your thoughts in front of you. It makes everything clearer. When you do this, don't sugarcoat it. Be honest with yourself. If you've been procrastinating, admit it. If you've been avoiding certain responsibilities, face it. If you're proud of how hard you've been working, acknowledge that too. Honest reflection isn't just about pointing out what's wrong, it's about seeing the whole picture, the good, the bad, and the room for growth. Now let's get specific. Start with your habits. Ask yourself, what do I do every day that moves me closer to my goals? What do I do that pushes me further away? Be honest here. Maybe you've been spending too much time on distractions. Maybe you've been consistent with a healthy routine. Whatever it is, write it down. You can't change what you don't identify. Next, reflect on your goals. Are they clear? Are they written down? Are you making progress, or are they just sitting there waiting for someday? If you don't have clear goals, this is your chance to start setting them. And if you have goals but you're not acting on them, ask yourself why. What's holding you back? Is it fear? Doubt? Lack of focus? Be honest about what's stopping you. Here's another question to ask: how am I using my time? Time is one of the most valuable resources you have. Are you spending it wisely, or are you letting it slip away? Look at your day-to-day activities. Are they aligned with the life you want to create? If not, what needs to change? And don't forget to reflect on your mindset. What kind of self-talk do you use? Are you encouraging yourself, or are you tearing yourself down? If you've been telling yourself, I'm not good enough, or I can't do it, it's time to challenge those thoughts. Honest reflection means recognizing the ways you've been holding yourself back mentally and deciding to change that narrative. Now, I know this process isn't always easy. Looking at yourself honestly can be uncomfortable. You might not like everything you see, but let me tell you something, it's worth it. Because once you face the truth, you can do something about it. You can start making changes. And that's where the magic happens. Over the next 3 days, I want you to commit to this process. Set aside some quiet time each day to reflect. Find a notebook or a journal and start writing. Don't rush through it. Take your time. Really think about your answers. And remember, this isn't about judging yourself or feeling bad about where you are. It's about understanding where you are so you can decide where to go next. When you finish each reflection, take a moment to appreciate yourself for doing the work. This isn't easy, but it's necessary. And the fact that you're willing to do it shows that you're serious about growing, about improving, and about living a better life. Honest reflection is the foundation for everything else. It's how you start building momentum. It's how you start making progress. And it's how you start talking to yourself in a way that inspires action and change. So for the next 3 days, commit to being honest with yourself. Face the truth, learn from it, and use it to fuel your growth. Number 2, acknowledge your current situation. Do you ever pause to truly look at where you are? Really stop and ask yourself, how did I get here? What decisions brought me to this very moment? Because if we don't take the time to acknowledge where we are, how can we possibly decide where we want to go? Here's what I know about life: it doesn't wait for you to figure things out. The clock keeps ticking, and if you're not paying attention, you'll wake up one day wondering how it all passed you by. So today, let's stop and face it. No filters, no sugarcoating, just raw honesty. Where are you right now in your life? Your finances, your relationships, your health, your dreams, what's the reality? This step is not about judgment. It's about clarity. And let me tell you, clarity is power. If you're broke, say it, I'm broke. If your health is in shambles, admit it, I've neglected my body. If your relationships are strained, face it, I've been distant. It's not weakness to admit where you are, it's strength. Because once you know, then you can do something about it. Let me share a principle with you. Change begins with awareness. You can't fix a problem you refuse to see. If your bank account is empty, you need to look at your spending. If you're out of shape, you need to face your habits. And if you're unhappy, you need to understand why. Don't bury your head in the sand, pretending everything is fine when it's not. Be honest, be courageous, and be willing to look at your life as it is right now. Now, this isn't easy. It might sting. You might feel uncomfortable or even embarrassed. That's okay. Growth is uncomfortable. But here's the truth. The pain of ignoring your situation is far worse than the discomfort of acknowledging it. You have to be brave enough to say, this is where I stand today, but it's not where I'll stay. I want you to take a moment right now. Think about one area of your life that you know needs attention. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's your relationships. Maybe it's your health. Close your eyes and visualize it. See it as it is, not worse than it is, not better than it is. Just the truth. Feel the weight of it. Let it sink in. This is where you are today. But remember, this is not your final destination. You see, acknowledging your current situation is like looking at a map before you start a journey. You can't get to where you want to go if you don't know where you're starting from. This step isn't about beating yourself up or feeling sorry for yourself. It's about taking responsibility. It's about saying, this is my life, and I'm in charge of it. So I challenge you, be bold enough to face your life head on. Write it down if you need to. Journal your thoughts. Speak it out loud. Tell yourself, this is my reality today, but it's only temporary. Because when you acknowledge where you are, you take the first step towards where you want to be. And remember, my friends, your current situation does not define your future. It's just a starting point. The power to change, to grow, to achieve, it's all within you. But it begins with a single, powerful act facing the truth of your life as it is right now. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. Because the moment you do, you take control of your story. And there's nothing more powerful than that. Number 3, focus on what you want. Thank you for being here today. Let's get right to it. For the next few minutes, I want to share something that can absolutely change the trajectory of your life. Now, I know that sounds like a bold statement, but stay with me. What I'm about to share isn't some far-off idea or abstract concept. It's practical, it's doable, and most importantly, it works. It's about how you talk to yourself, not in a year, not in a month, but in the next 3 days. That's it. 3 days to shift the conversation in your mind. And today we're going to focus on one specific thing, what you want. Let me ask you something. How often do you find yourself thinking about what's wrong in your life? How often do you replay old mistakes, worry about the future, or criticize yourself for not being further along? If you're like most people, it's probably too often. And here's the problem with that: what you focus on grows. You dwell on the negative, and it multiplies. But what if, just for 3 days, you shifted your focus entirely? What if, instead of fixating on what's wrong, you put all your energy into thinking about what you want? Here's the first thing I want you to do. For the next 3 days, every time a negative thought pops into your head, stop yourself, take a breath, and then deliberately replace it with a thought about what you want. Let's say you catch yourself thinking, "I'm so bad with money." Stop. Right there. Replace it with, "I'm working on building wealth and becoming financially free now." Does that mean the problem disappears instantly? Of course not. But what it does is shift your focus. And when your focus shifts, your energy shifts. And when your energy shifts, your actions follow. But let's take it deeper. Don't just think about what you want, speak it. Write it. Declare it out loud. There's power in hearing your own voice affirm your desires. Let's say your goal is to get in better shape. Instead of saying, "I hate how I look," you say, "I'm committed to becoming healthier and stronger every day." Or if you want a better relationship, instead of saying, "I'll never find someone," you say, "I'm attracting love and connection into my life." Do you see the difference? It's not just about changing words, it's about changing the energy behind them. Now, here's something else I've learned: you've got to get specific. When you talk to yourself about what you want, paint the picture. Don't just say, "I want to be successful." What does success look like to you? Is it running your own business? Is it traveling the world? Is it having time to spend with your family? The clearer you are, the more your mind knows what to aim for. Think of it like setting a GPS. You don't just say, "Take me somewhere nice," you plug in the exact address. And the more vivid that address is in your mind, the more focused your actions will be. For these 3 days, I want you to not only think and speak about what you want, but also feel it. Yes, feel it. Imagine having that thing you desire. Imagine the joy, the excitement, the peace it brings you. Let's say your goal is financial freedom. Close your eyes and picture it. Imagine waking up in the morning knowing all your bills are paid, knowing you have more than enough. Imagine the weight lifted off your shoulders. How does that feel? That feeling, that's your fuel. That's what keeps you moving forward when things get tough. And let me tell you, things will get tough. That's life. There will be days when the old thoughts creep back in, when the doubts get loud, and you start to wonder if any of this is working. But here's what I want you to remember: those moments are the test. And every time you choose to refocus on what you want, you pass the test. Every time you choose to speak life into your dreams instead of speaking fear into your doubts, you're building a new habit. A habit of hope, or a habit of action, a habit of belief. And here's the beautiful part: once you start focusing on what you want, you'll begin to see opportunities you didn't notice before. Doors will open, ideas will come, people will show up to help you. Is it magic? No, it's you aligning your focus, your words, and your actions. It's you becoming the kind of person who attracts the very things you desire. So for the next 3 days, make this commitment to yourself. Talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend. Be kind, be encouraging, and above all, be focused. Focus on what you want, not what you fear. Speak it, write it, feel it, and watch what happens. Because 3 days of focused, intentional thinking can spark a transformation that lasts a lifetime. Number 4, replace doubts with affirmations. Something that can truly transform the way you see yourself and the life you're creating. It's a simple idea, but it's a game changer. I want you to replace doubts with affirmations, and I want you to do it consciously, deliberately, and with intention. Let's dig into this because it's not just theory. This is a practice, and it works. Let's start by being honest. We all have doubts. Doubts about our abilities, doubts about our future, doubts about whether we can achieve the things we dream about. It's natural. But here's the deal. If you let those doubts live rent-free in your mind, they'll drain your energy, your confidence, and your belief in what's possible. And we can't have that. Why? Because doubt doesn't pay dividends. It only costs you. It's time to evict those doubts and replace them with something better. Now, what do we replace them with? Affirmations. But let's be clear, affirmations aren't just empty words. They're declarations, they're commitments, they're statements of who you are and who you're becoming. They're words that align with your vision, your values, and your goals. And the power of affirmations isn't in saying them once or twice. It's in repeating them consistently morning, noon, and night until they take root in your subconscious and become part of your identity. So how do you start? Here's a practical exercise for you. I want you to write down your biggest doubts. Take a moment and be honest with yourself. What are the thoughts that hold you back? Maybe it's, I'm not smart enough, or I don't have the resources, or I'm too late, whatever they are. Get them on paper. This isn't about judging yourself. It's about acknowledging what's been standing in your way. Next, for every doubt you've written down, I want you to flip it. Turn it into an affirmation. If your doubt is, I'm not smart enough, your affirmation could be, I am capable, and I learn quickly. If your doubt is, I don't have the resources. Your affirmation could be, I am resourceful, and I find solutions. If your doubt is, I'm too late, your affirmation could be, this is the perfect time for me to start. The key is to make your affirmations positive, present tense, and personal. They need to feel true to you, even if they stretch your current beliefs. Because here's the truth, your words shape your reality. What you tell yourself every day matters. It shapes how you think, how you feel, and how you act. If you tell yourself you can't, you'll act like you can't. But if you tell yourself you can, you'll start acting like you can. And that's when things change. Now, here's the next step. Say your affirmations out loud. Yes, out loud. There's something powerful about hearing your own voice speak life into your dreams. Do it in front of a mirror if you can. Look yourself in the eye and say, I am worthy, I am capable, I am capable. I am becoming the person I want to be. At first, it might feel awkward. That's okay, it's new. But stick with it. The more you do it, the more natural it will feel. I also want you to write your affirmations down and keep them where you can see them. Put them on sticky notes around your house, on your bathroom mirror, on your fridge, or on your desk. Make them the background on your phone. Surround yourself with these positive messages so they become part of your environment. Remember, what you see and hear repeatedly shapes your beliefs. But there's one more thing, and this is important. Affirmations alone aren't enough. You've got to back them up with action. If you're saying, I am capable, then prove it to yourself by taking action, even if it's a small step. If you're saying, I am resourceful, then start looking for creative ways to solve your challenges. If you're saying, this is the perfect time for me to start, then start. Affirmations set the stage, but action brings the results. Now, here's what I want you to do for the next 3 days. Commit to replacing your doubts with affirmations. Every time a doubt pops up in your mind, pause and catch it. Then replace it with an affirmation. Do this consciously and consistently. It's like training a muscle. At first, it takes effort, but over time, it becomes second nature. And let me tell you what's going to happen. As you do this, you're going to feel a shift. You're going to notice a difference in your confidence, your energy, and your outlook. You're going to start believing in yourself in a way you maybe haven't before. And that belief is going to lead to action. And that action is going to lead to results. And those results, they're going to build even more belief. It's a cycle, my friends, and it starts with your words. So let me leave you with this. You have the power to choose the words you speak to yourself. Use that power wisely. Speak words of life, words of hope, and words of hope, and words of possibility. Replace your doubts with affirmations and watch what happens. You've got this, and I believe in you. Number 5, Speak gratitude every day. Let me tell you something that has the power to shift your life, not in months, not in years, but in days. Yes, in just 3 days. And it begins with something so simple, so accessible, that we often overlook it: gratitude. Now, gratitude isn't just about saying thank you when someone holds the door open or passes the salt. No, it's much more than that. Gratitude is an attitude. It's a way of seeing, a way of feeling, and most importantly, a way of speaking. And for the next 3 days, I'm challenging you to speak gratitude every single day. Here's what it looks like. Every morning when you wake up, before you reach for your phone or dive into your to-do list, take a moment to say aloud, "Thank you for this day." Feel the words as you say them. Don't just mutter them out of habit. Let them carry weight. Let them carry meaning. Feel the miracle of simply being alive and having another chance to live, to grow, to make a difference. Start your day by acknowledging the gift of life itself. And if you think, "Well, Jim, what's so special about another day?" Let me remind you, some people didn't get this chance. Some people would trade everything they had for the day you're about to live. So be grateful for it. Next, I want you to think about the people in your life. Family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, people who support you, challenge you, or simply make you smile. Speak gratitude for them. Say, "I'm thankful for my family," or "I'm grateful for my friend who always makes me laugh." And don't just say it in your mind. Speak it out loud. Words have power. When you speak gratitude, you create a ripple effect. You feel lighter, happier, and more connected. And let me tell you something remarkable: when you start appreciating the people around you, they start showing up differently in your life. Gratitude has a way of transforming relationships. Now let's talk about your challenges. Yes, your challenges. Those tough situations, those obstacles that make you want to throw your hands in the air and say, "Why me?" Here's a thought: instead of complaining about them, be grateful for them. I know it sounds strange. You might be thinking, "Jim, why should I be thankful for my problems?" Because every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. Every difficulty is a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and better. So speak gratitude for your challenges. Say, "I'm grateful for this struggle because it's teaching me patience," or "I'm thankful for this setback because it's making me more resilient." Trust me, when you start seeing challenges through the lens of gratitude, they lose their power to bring you down. And finally, as you go through your day, look for the little things. The sun shining through your window, the sound of laughter, the taste of a good meal, the comfort of a warm bed. Speak gratitude for these moments. Say, "I'm thankful for this cup of coffee," or "I'm grateful for this beautiful sunset." These small acknowledgments add up. They remind you that life's greatest joys are often found in the simplest things. And when you start noticing and appreciating the little things, something incredible happens. You realize how rich your life already is. Now, my friends, let's make this practical. For the next 3 days, I challenge you to speak gratitude every day. When you wake up, give thanks for the day. Speak gratitude for the people in your life, for your challenges, and for the little moments that make life beautiful. Write it down if you need to. Say it out loud. Feel it in your heart. And here's the promise: if you do this with sincerity, if you truly commit to it, you'll feel a shift. You'll feel more alive, more connected, more at peace. Gratitude is the seed from which all abundance grows. Speak it and watch your life transform. Number 6, visualize your ideal future. Let's talk about your future. Not the future that happens by chance, but the future you create, the future you envision. You see, the mind is an incredible tool. It's like a compass, and if you point it toward your goals, your dreams, and your ideal life, it will lead you there. But here's the catch: most people never take the time to define their ideal future. They get caught up in the noise of everyday life, drifting from one thing to the next without a clear direction. Today, I want you to change that. For the next 3 days, I want you to take a little time each day to visualize your ideal future. Let me guide you on how to do it, step by step. Start with a quiet moment. Find a place where you can sit down without distractions. Turn off your phone. Close the door. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Now imagine yourself a year from today. Think about it. If everything went right, If you stayed focused and worked toward your goals, what would your life look like? Picture it as clearly as you can. Where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? Think about the details. See the colors, hear the sounds, feel the emotions. Maybe you see yourself living in a beautiful home, working in a career you love, surrounded by the people who mean the most to you. Maybe you feel a sense of peace, accomplishment, or excitement. Whatever it is, make the vision as vivid as possible. This is your future, so paint it in bright, bold colors. Now let's go deeper. Think beyond the material things. What kind of person are you in this ideal future? Are you confident, disciplined, and full of energy? Are you someone who follows through on commitments, who wakes up with purpose, who gives back to others? Define these qualities. Imagine how it feels to live as the best version of yourself. This is not just about achieving things, it's about becoming someone you're proud of. You see, success is not just about what you get, it's about who you become. And when you visualize your future, you're not just creating a picture of what you want. You're creating a roadmap for the kind of person you need to be to make it happen. Next, write it down. Take that vision from your mind and put it on paper. Be as specific as you can. Write about your future home, your career, your relationships, your health, your finances, your mindset. Write it in the present tense, as if it's already happening. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, write, I am successful. I'm doing work that I love and making a difference in people's lives. This step is important because writing it down makes it real. It takes your vision from being a wish to being a plan. And here's the beauty of it: when you put it on paper, you can revisit it every day. You can read it, feel it, and remind yourself of where you're headed. But visualization doesn't stop there. The next step is to align your actions with your vision. It's one thing to dream about the future, but it's another to take the steps to make it real. For the next 3 days, I want you to ask yourself, what can I do today to get closer to that vision? Maybe it's something small, like reading a book that helps you grow, reaching out to a mentor, or starting a new habit. Or maybe it's a big step, like making a decision you've been putting off or taking a leap of faith. Whatever it is, do it with intention. Every action, no matter how small, is a step toward your ideal future. And here's the most important part: believe in it. Believe that your future is possible. Believe that you have what it takes to make it happen. You see, my friends, everything begins in the mind. If you can see it, you can achieve it. If you can imagine it, you can create it. But it starts with you. It starts with taking the time to visualize, to define, and to commit to the life you want. So for the next 3 days, give yourself this gift. Visualize your ideal future. Write it down, take action, and watch as your vision begins to take shape, step by step. This is your life, and it's waiting for you to make it extraordinary. Number 7, challenge your negative thoughts. I want to talk to you about something that can absolutely transform your life in just 3 days. It's simple, it's powerful, and it all starts with how you talk to yourself. We all have that inner voice, don't we? It's that little voice in our heads that can either lift us up or bring us down. Now, I'm going to tell you something important. If you want to change your life, you've got to challenge those negative thoughts. Let's face it, we all have them. We all have doubts. We all question ourselves at times. It's part of being human. But here's the thing: your thoughts are not facts. They're just thoughts. And if you're not careful, those thoughts can control you, determine your day, shape your future, and even define your life. But the good news is you have the power to control your thoughts. You don't have to accept everything your mind tells you. Imagine this: you wake up in the morning and the first thought you have is, I'm not good enough, or today's going to be another tough day. Maybe you're thinking, I'm not cut out for this, or this is too hard for me. These are negative thoughts that immediately put you in a defensive position. You start the day already defeated. But here's where the magic happens. You don't have to listen to those thoughts. You can challenge them. Let me ask you something. What if you flipped that script? What if you turned those negative thoughts around and started talking to yourself in a way that empowered you? Imagine starting your day with thoughts like, I am enough, I am capable, I've got what it takes. And today is a new opportunity now. That's a game changer. When you challenge your negative thoughts, you're essentially questioning their validity. You're saying, is this really true? Is this thought really helping me, or is it just holding me back? And more often than not, you'll find that those negative thoughts are just stories you've been telling yourself for years. They are not the truth. They are just old, outdated beliefs that no longer serve you. Here's the first step in challenging those thoughts: awareness. You have to be aware of what's going on in your head. Pay attention to the thoughts you're having, especially in moments of doubt or struggle. Notice how often you tell yourself, I can't, or this is too hard now. Ask yourself, is this thought true? And 9 times out of 10, the answer will be no. Let's take a common negative thought, I'm not good enough. This is something many people believe at some point. But if you really challenge this thought, you'll realize it's just a belief, not a fact. Who decided you're not good enough? Who gets to make that call? Why is that thought even in your head? Most of the time, these negative thoughts come from past experiences, fears, or comparisons to others. But they're not the truth. The truth is, you are more than enough. You have everything you need inside of you to succeed. It's not about being perfect, it's about being willing to keep moving forward, despite the doubts. So here's what I want you to do. For the next 3 days, challenge every negative thought that pops up in your mind. When you think, I can't do this, ask yourself, why not? What's really stopping me? When you think, I'm not good enough, remind yourself, I am enough. I have unique strengths, and I'm capable of learning and growing. But here's the key, you've got to back up those positive thoughts with action. It's not enough to just say, I'm good enough, and then sit around doing nothing. You need to take action that aligns with that new belief. If you believe you're capable, then show it with your actions. If you believe you're enough, then prove it by stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing the things that scare you. Because I promise you this, when you start challenging your negative thoughts and replacing them with empowering ones, you'll start to see changes. Your energy will shift, your mindset will change, and your life will begin to transform. Now, I know it's not easy. This takes work and it takes consistency. But this is where the magic happens. You can't expect to change your life in just 1 day, but 3 days. I believe in you. If you challenge those negative thoughts for just 3 days, you'll see the difference. You'll start to notice that you're more confident, more motivated, and more open to opportunities. And here's something else, you are not alone in this. Everyone has to deal with negative thoughts. Everyone has doubts, but the ones who succeed are the ones who don't let those thoughts control them. They acknowledge them, challenge them, and move forward anyway. So my challenge to you is this: for the next 3 days, make a commitment to challenge your negative thoughts. When they pop up and they will question them, don't just accept them as the truth. Replace them with thoughts that empower you. And I promise you, in just 3 days, you'll start to see a shift. You'll feel more confident, more capable, and more ready to tackle whatever comes your way. Number 8. Set clear daily intentions. I want to share something that can completely change the direction of your life in just 3 days. This is simple, but don't let that fool you. If you apply it, it can be incredibly powerful. And what I want to talk to you about today is setting clear daily intentions. It's one of the most crucial things you can do if you want to live a life full of purpose, direction, and success. Now let's get real for a moment. Most people wake up in the morning and they're just reacting to whatever comes their way. They check their phones, they check their email, they let the world dictate how their day goes. And you know what happens? They go through the day feeling like they're being tossed around, like they're not really in control. Does that sound familiar? I bet it does. But what if, instead of just reacting to the day, you decided to set a clear intention for how you wanted your day to go? Think about this for a moment. What if, before you even got out of bed, you took a few seconds to clearly decide what you wanted to focus on today? What if you set a clear intention for what you were going to accomplish, how you were going to show up, and how you were going to feel? Imagine how that would change the entire course of your day. It would give you direction. It would give you purpose. It would give you the focus you need to make things happen. This is something I do every single day. The first thing I do when I wake up is set an intention. It could be as simple as, today I'm going to be productive and make progress on my goals. Or it might be something more specific, like I'm going to handle any challenges with a calm and positive attitude, whatever it is. The key is to make it clear, specific, and aligned with what matters most to you. Now, you might be thinking, Jim, I'm already busy. I've got a lot to do. Setting intentions sounds nice, but I'm not sure if it's going to make a difference. Well, let me tell you this, you can be busy, but if you don't have a clear intention for what you're doing, you're just spinning your wheels. You're getting through the day, but you're not getting anywhere. On the other hand, when you set a clear intention, you give yourself a target to aim for. You give yourself something concrete to focus on. And when you focus, everything changes. When you set an intention for your day, it's like you're telling your mind, this is what I'm going to achieve today. This is how I'm going to feel. And this is what I'm going to make happen. And guess what? Your mind starts to work with you, not against you. You start noticing the opportunities, the small actions that can lead to big results. You start thinking with clarity, not confusion. And even if obstacles come up, because they will, you'll handle them differently. You'll deal with them more calmly, more confidently, because you have a clear focus. But here's the thing, you don't just set an intention and forget about it. It's not about just saying, I want to be successful today, and then going on autopilot. No, setting an intention is just the beginning. You need to check in with yourself throughout the day. Ask yourself, am I on track? Am I living up to the intention I set? And if not, don't beat yourself up. Just adjust. Get back on course. This is about being intentional in every moment of the day. Let's make this real. Here's a simple way to get started. Tomorrow morning, as soon as you open your eyes, before you even get out of bed, take a moment to set an intention for the day. It could be something like, today I will focus on one important task and make real progress. Or maybe today I'll stay calm and handle every situation with a positive attitude, whatever it is, make it clear and specific. Don't just say, I want to have a good day, that's too vague. Instead, say something like, today I'm going to be intentional about my time and energy. I'll focus on what matters most and avoid distractions. That's the kind of intention that gives you direction. Then, throughout the day, remind yourself of your intention. Write it down if you need to. Post it somewhere where you can see it. Keep coming back to it, especially when you feel yourself slipping off track. You'll be amazed at how much more you can accomplish when you have that clear focus in mind. It's like having a roadmap for your day, and the more you follow it, the clearer the path becomes. But let's take this one step further. What if you did this for 3 days in a row? Just 3 days. I want you to set clear intentions each morning and then follow through by checking in with yourself throughout the day. Be mindful of your thoughts, your actions, and your energy. When you do this, you're training your mind and body to be more purposeful. You're teaching yourself to live each day with a sense of clarity and direction. Here's something I want you to remember: setting daily intentions is a practice. It's not about being perfect. It's about creating a habit of focus, of action, and of living with purpose. Every day you practice setting intentions, you get better at it. You get more consistent. And soon it becomes second nature. You'll find yourself getting more done, feeling more accomplished, and experiencing more satisfaction at the end of each day. So my challenge to you is this: for the next 3 days, set clear daily intentions. Don't just let the day happen to you. Take control. Decide ahead of time what you want to achieve, how you want to feel, and who you want to show up as. And then, throughout the day, check in with yourself. Stay on track. If you get off course, adjust and keep moving forward. In just 3 days, you'll see the difference. Number 9, encourage yourself with action. I want to talk to you today about something that can dramatically change the way you feel about yourself, the way you approach challenges, and the way you move through life. It's a simple idea, but one that can completely shift the results you're getting. I want to talk about encouraging yourself, not with words alone, but with action. Now, we've all heard the saying, talk is cheap And there's a lot of truth to that. It's easy to say, I'm going to do this or I'm going to change that, but the real power comes from what you actually do. We all have big dreams, big goals, and things we want to accomplish, but without action, they're just ideas, they're just wishes. And let's be honest, wishing isn't going to get you anywhere. Here's the reality: you can talk to yourself all day long. You can tell yourself that you can do it. You can motivate yourself with positive words. But if you don't back that up with action, nothing will change. Nothing. Positive thinking is important, but it must be followed by consistent action. And that's what I want to challenge you to do. I want you to start encouraging yourself not just with nice words, but by doing something that moves you closer to your goals every single day. For the next 3 days, I want you to take action. And I mean real action, not just thinking about what you need to do, not just talking about what you want to achieve, but getting up and doing something about it. It doesn't have to be a huge leap. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to take the next step, no matter how small it might seem. Because that small action, done consistently, builds momentum, and momentum is what gets results. When you encourage yourself with action, you're proving to yourself that you believe in your own potential. It's easy to say, I believe I can do it, but it's more powerful to show yourself that you believe it by taking steps toward your goals, no matter how big or small those steps might be. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. The more action you take, the more you encourage yourself, the more you build your confidence, and the closer you get to your vision. Let's break it down. Maybe you've been thinking about starting a new project, making a career change, or improving your health. It can be overwhelming, can't it? You look at the big picture and it feels like a mountain. But that mountain is made up of small, manageable steps. You don't need to climb the whole mountain today. What you need to do is take the first step. That's it. Just one small action. It could be making one phone call, sending one email, doing one task. It could be a 10-minute walk, a healthy meal, reading one chapter of a book that will help you grow. Whatever it is, it's about taking that first step. That first action tells your mind, I'm serious, I'm doing this. I'm moving forward. It's like telling your mind that you mean business, that you're not just talking about it, you're doing something about it. And here's the beautiful part: every time you take that step, it builds your confidence. Every action you take becomes a reminder that you're capable of making things happen. It's easy to feel stuck when you're not taking action. You start doubting yourself. You wonder if you're on the right path. But when you begin to act, even in small ways, that doubt starts to fade away. You start seeing progress, even if it's just a little bit at a time. And that progress, that momentum, is what propels you forward. Now, I understand that taking action can feel uncomfortable sometimes. You might feel uncertain, you might be afraid of failing, or you might be thinking, what if it doesn't work? That's normal. Fear and doubt are part of the process. But here's the thing: you can't wait for the fear to go away before you take action. You've got to take action in spite of the fear. You've got to keep moving forward even when it feels uncomfortable. Because the truth is, action reduces fear. The more you do, the less fear you'll feel. And the more you take action, the more you'll encourage yourself to keep going. So here's what I want you to do for the next 3 days. I want you to pick one thing, just one thing that you've been putting off, that you've been thinking about but haven't yet taken action on. And then I want you to do something about it. Do something, no matter how small, that moves you forward. Every time you take that step, you'll feel a little more empowered, a little more confident, and a little more motivated to keep going. And don't wait for everything to be perfect. Don't wait for the right moment. The right moment is now. The perfect time to take action is today. It doesn't matter if you don't have all the answers. Just take the first step and then take another. Keep going. That's how you build momentum. That's how you start encouraging yourself to reach higher, to do more, to believe in yourself more deeply. Remember, encouragement doesn't just come from words. It comes from your actions. So make those actions count. Take action every day. Encourage yourself to move forward, even when you're scared, even when you're unsure. That's how you build the kind of confidence that leads to lasting success. I believe in you. I believe that you have what it takes to make progress every single day. So for the next 3 days, encourage yourself with action. Take that first step. And I'll be here cheering you on every step of the way. Keep going, stay focused, and watch how everything starts to shift for you. Number 10. End each day with pride. I want to talk about something that can shift the way you feel about your life and your progress, something that has the potential to boost your confidence and sense of accomplishment in ways you might not have experienced before. I'm talking about ending each day with pride. I want to show you how a simple shift in your thinking and actions at the end of the day can completely change how you show up in the world. Now, I know what it's like to finish a long day feeling drained, exhausted, and wondering if you did enough. You go through the motions, you check things off your list, but at the end of the day, you're left with this feeling of, did I really make a difference today? Did I do my best? Did I make progress? And I get it. It can be easy to feel that way, especially when you're working hard but don't see immediate results. But here's the truth: you can change that feeling. And it starts with how you end your day. For the next 3 days, I want you to focus on something very simple: end each day with pride. That's right. When the day is done, I want you to reflect on what you did, no matter how big or small, and feel a sense of pride in what you've accomplished. Don't wait for anyone else to tell you that you did a good job. Don't look for external validation. Validate yourself. Be proud of yourself for showing up, for taking action, and for doing the work, even if it wasn't perfect. Ending your day with pride is all about acknowledging that you did your best with what you had. It's about taking a moment to recognize your effort. So many people go through the day and never stop to appreciate themselves. But let me tell you something: when you take the time to recognize what you've done, when you take the time to celebrate your effort, that is when you build a sense of pride that sticks with you. That is when you build confidence that helps propel you into the next day and the next. Now, here's the key: it's not about waiting for everything to be perfect. It's about progress, not perfection. Don't beat yourself up if things didn't go exactly as planned. Life doesn't always go according to plan. Sometimes things are messy. Sometimes things don't go the way you expected. And that's okay. What matters is that you showed up. What matters is that you took action. And if you can look back at your day and say, I did the best I could with the resources I had, that's something to be proud of. This isn't about ignoring your mistakes or pretending like everything went perfectly. It's about recognizing that even in those moments when things didn't go the way you wanted, you learned, you grew. And that's the real reward. So at the end of each day, I want you to take a moment and give yourself credit for everything you did, for all the little steps forward, for all the challenges you overcame, and for the progress you made, even if it feels small. When you end each day with pride, it changes the way you approach the next day. You wake up with a greater sense of purpose because you know you've been making progress. You've been doing the work, and that work matters. When you take the time to acknowledge your effort, you shift from being a passive participant in your own life to being an active creator of it. You start to see that you're in control. And with that kind of mindset, anything is possible. So how do you start? It's simple. Every night, before you go to bed, take a moment to reflect. Look back at your day and ask yourself, what did I do today that I can be proud of? It could be something big like finishing a project or handling a difficult conversation with grace. Or it could be something smaller like taking a few minutes to practice self-care or making the decision to push through a tough moment. Whatever it is, acknowledge it. If you didn't get everything done that you wanted to, that's okay too. You're human. The important thing is that you kept going, that you kept showing up, and that you took one step closer to your goals. And here's the key: the more you practice this, the more pride you'll feel at the end of each day. It becomes a habit. You start looking for reasons to be proud of yourself, and as you do, you start building confidence. And that confidence, that sense of pride, is what drives you forward. Now, I want you to remember something important. This isn't just about saying, I did my best and letting it go. It's about reflecting on your progress, learning from the day, and then using that knowledge to make tomorrow even better. End each day with pride, but also use that reflection to keep improving. Ask yourself, what can I do differently tomorrow? What can I do better? That's how you keep growing. That's how you keep getting better. And as you move through this process over the next 3 days, watch how it starts to change you. Watch how your mindset shifts. Watch how your confidence grows. The more you end your days with pride, the more you'll start to feel like you're moving in the right direction. You'll feel more empowered, more capable, and more motivated to take on the next challenge. So here's what I want you to do for the next 3 days. Commit to ending each day with pride. Reflect on what you did, celebrate your progress, and learn from your experiences. When you do this, you'll start building a stronger, more positive mindset, and you'll start moving forward with more energy and enthusiasm. And as you do, you'll find that your confidence grows, your results improve, and your life starts to shift in ways you never thought possible. You've got this. Be proud of yourself. Recognize the hard work, the effort, and the progress. And keep going, because each day is an opportunity to build on the last, to keep growing, and to keep becoming the person you're meant to be. So, let's get to work. You've got a life to build, and I'll be right here cheering you on every step of the way. Let's end each day with pride, and let's see how much we can accomplish together.